How to lock in. So this is going to be a pretty simple video. I'm sure you've heard a lot of this advice before, but maybe you just haven't been able to actually implement them behaviorally, and maybe you're struggling to, do them because I feel like there's a lot of information out there about how to focus and how to do deep work, how to really just like, I guess, lock in. But nobody's actually broken it down into behaviors that you can actually do instead of just like giving generic advice that you have to figure out how to do. So the first principle is one focus, right? So if you want to lock in, you can't sit there and try to do everything on your to-do list at the same time. So what you want to do is, on a sticky note, look at your to-do list and write down the one thing that you will accomplish, the one thing that you will complete in that so-called lock-in session, right? So it doesn't matter how long it is. So we work open to goal here. We work until we complete the task. So the task you wrote down on your sticky note, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to finish it. You will just work until you finish it. This is one of the biggest cheat codes to I guess, so-called productivity and getting outputs from your inputs. It's literally about working until you get to the point where where you hit your goal. Because some people will set a timer and do all that woo woo magic with setting the timer and then taking a break and then starting again and then taking a break, whatever, right? But I think the magic lies in just being able to do the work for however long it takes until you hit the goal, and then you can stop and reassess. That's the idea of working open to goal. And with one focus, with one sticky note, with one task on it, you don't have to look at your long to-do list, and you don't have to multitask and do multiple things at the same time. It's just one focus so that this task gets 100% of your attention and energy and will be produced, and the output will be produced at the highest level. That's what one focus gives you. All right, the next thing is diet, right? You need to understand that what you are putting into your body directly influences the output that you will get through your work, through your productivity, right? The work that you produce is directly correlated with what you intake. And so if you're eating like crap, then your output is not going to be up to par. It's going to be crap. So eat and try to avoid things that will kind of distract you, that will kind of be like cheap dopamine, that will end up not serving you as well as you think they will. So the easiest way to do this would be to first focus on the highest levers, right? Obviously, try to cut out alcohol. The next best thing is sugar, right? Sugar is going to impact the way that your mental stuff happens. It's gonna slow you down, and once you've consumed the sugar and then you crash, it slows you down and makes you feel sleepy, and that directly influences your work. So try to cut out sugar as much as possible. I mean, there's obviously all the health benefits of doing that, but I'm specifically talking about the focus that you will regain, and the clarity of mind that you'll get from cutting out sugar from your life. And then the next step down from that is carbs. Not as important to cut out as sugar and alcohol, but if you can cut out carbs or minimize the amount of carbs that you're consuming, then that would also be huge, because it has almost a similar effect to sugar, just not as intense. And obviously carbs are going to they're good depending on like your other goals. So like if you're trying to bulk, then carbs are good. But like I said, if we're trying to focus specifically on the most output from our inputs, the most work done from hours put in, locking in, then you want to try to cut out any part of your diet that is potentially harming your focus. All right, the next thing is, and by the way, I'm not a health guru. This is what has worked for me. I've cut these things out and they have improved my focus. I have not measured them or anything like that. It's just based off of a feeling. So maybe you shouldn't trust me, but this is what has worked for me. Anyway, I should have made that disclaimer before, but the next thing is sleep. Obviously, you've heard all the advice. I'm not going to yap on and on about sleep, but just like literally go to bed at the same time and get up at the same time. Try to get around 7 to 8 hours and you're good. And you're good. You can easily survive for the rest of the day, locking in and just staying focused with that much sleep. But if you get anything under, it's diminishing returns. You don't want to lose so much sleep that the next day that you wake up to work, it's like you don't have focus because you're so tired, right? You don't want that. All right. Finally, after sleep, it is no distractions. No women, no guys, no friends, no phone, no notifications, none of it. When you're when you need to log in, whenever you're getting into work, you can't have other people around. You can't have your phone next to you buzzing and all your notifications are vibrating all the time. You can't have any of that, okay? Because that will fundamentally draw your attention to it, and you'll feel more inclined to pick up your phone and to look at who's texting you or whatever. And that's obviously not conducive to locking in and staying focused. So put your phone on do not disturb, power it off, put it in another room, whatever it takes to remove this distraction from your life. And that's it, man. To lock in, it's just behaviors, right? Pick one thing to do, write it down on a sticky note, do it until you finish it, and then optimize your diet. Avoid sugars, avoid carbs, avoid alcohol, sleep well, and then cut out distractions. That simple. Goodbye.